the Sentinel Defense Force tribute from the Gunvald Corporation, though I don't know the exact origins of this lovely, sad acoustic tone. Sadly, the Sentinel Defense Force does appear to be no more, save for a few fleet-based remnants and, of course, the Reclaimed, but they have their own problems to deal with. The unfortunate fact of the matter is that the vaccine used to suppress voteless prion growth in the Reclaimed is inherently flawed, and has diminishing returns over time, which means they need more of the vaccine in order to retain their humanity, and Victor is only capable of making so much of it at one time, given our very limited resources. Victor himself also has problems in that a certain boneheaded blonde did not perform the revival process right. Apparently, the first injection of vaccine has to be done into the brainstem with prion injection into muscle tissue. So right now, he has prion in his brain and sees general burnout everywhere, hence his tendency to snap like a postal worker, and since he has the strength of 20 men, you can probably see how that's a bit of a delicate operation that can easily go south. But hey, I was doing the best I could with the information I had at the time. Valerian burned all of Victor's notes, and my only source of information was too dead at the time to correct me. Not much that can be done about it now. At any rate, the morning news. The Illuminate still continue to be absolutely gone from the galactic sphere, upsetting many strategists and squid fishermen. I'm reminded of an old saying that I heard during my officer's training. Do not fear the enemy you can see. Fear the one you can't, and you have no idea where he is or what he's doing. They have not been seen since the last battle for Mastia, where their vanguard forces paved the way for an automaton invasion. Recently, SEAF had staged a counterattack upon the planet and snatched it right back. According to Mercy, the Citizen Center for Surveillance was built to last, almost like they were kind of expecting a civilian uprising at some point. It's mostly okay, save for a little damage to the drywall. Considering this is one of his primary points of access, I think we'd both rather that it remain intact. Those Ministry of Truth dorks are still convinced that he's just an especially helpful AI inhabiting the center and have no idea that he has been feeding me information for months on end. Now, some might question the logic behind me saying that kind of thing on an open airwave, but I am reasonably sure that the penalty for listening to my pirate broadcasts in the interior sectors is death by firing squad. To my fans within the ministry, stay safe, and if anyone asks, you don't know me. Though, speaking of the Ministry of Truth, they are holding a dance party on the 13th of May at Widow's Harbor to celebrate the second extinction of the Illuminate. There will be food, dancing, and epic music remixed by DJ Guard Dog, and ordinarily I'd be all over that and make a personal appearance so that we could swap notes. I'm all about that radio play, don't you know? But I honestly regard this as tremendously premature. Why? Because according to the Super Earth Intelligence Agency, Meridia is still showing anomalous fluctuations. The throat is widening, this referring to the narrowest part of the wormhole passage, and it is further stabilizing. Which means that not only is the threat incredibly real, it's likely due to arrive at literally any day, and it is going to be bloody massive. So the Bringer of Mercy will not be lowering its combat readiness, and shore leave for the foreseeable future will be canceled. Sorry, everybody. Speaking of combat readiness, Achernar Secundus is showing enormous progress today, racking up almost 4% liberation an hour, and Troost is due to fall to democracy's might at some point, maybe? It feels like we've been waiting for that planet to foot for weeks now. That's because we probably have. The defense of Boar Rock fares poorly, however, with more Terminid spores arriving every hour, and it is likely to remain in Terminid clutches for a while longer. The odds are good that the Liberation Fleet will vote to send a station to Chlorel next, the final planet on our list of a homework assignment for this major order. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Helldivers, but it doesn't seem like our enemies are putting up much of a fight. It feels like they're just rolling over and letting us beat on them with our mighty democratic fists. It worries me, you know? It feels almost too easy out there, and in my experience, when it feels like it's too good to be true, that's because it usually is. In other news from Gunval's datanet, there's been a good deal of movement on the Krakabos campaign. Reports are a little fuzzy out there, but it appears that the Nadir brokered a ceasefire with the Vertex divers, which the Nadir immediately broke in a surprise attack. Oh well, mild shock. I'm sure the automaton mainframe would love these guys' tactics. Following this attack, Gunvold and Vertex have since withdrawn from the Blue Waves region in order to re-establish their strategic defensive perimeter and secure additional reinforcements. Those left behind following this withdrawal have not fared so well. Local administrators have been subject to punishment and public execution. No questions are being answered by the local Nadir authorities, and the hero responsible for downing an entire squad of elite Nadirs has been executed via public hanging. Okay, Nadir, that's how you want to conduct yourselves? I do believe that this now qualifies as a humanitarian crisis, which is enough of a reason for me to deploy the Seraphim to the planet. Let's see how hoity-toity you feel when my siblings in arms are cramming their boots so far up your keister that your grandchildren's children are going to have their shoe-sized tags on their tonsils. Light 'em up, guys, but take your time. I feel like a lesson needs to be learned here. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandora the Free-You Angel. Keep an eye out for enemy counterattack, dear divers. It's unusual for the foes of democracy to just take a beating so passively. I'm expecting all manner of shenanigans, and they could come at any moment. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for the Angelic Rebellion. Viva la Revolution Angelique!